Good afternoon, children. This is Mr. Vaid. If this is your first screencast lesson of mine that you're watching, welcome. These screencasts are meant to be short and to give you instruction on new material or review material we've studied in class, to learn new content, or to review and practice things that we've already practiced. So a little bit of review, a little bit of instruction on new standards and information material. Today's just a review. I'm calling this lesson Multiplication, Procedural Skill, and Fluency. This has not so much to do with just really understanding why we multiply and when multiplication is needed, as it does have to do with being able to fluently multiply. And I just would like to take these next few minutes to show you how I multiply two values with one another. The learning target states, compare your methods of fluently multiplying with Mr. Vaid's methods, or improve your multiplication fluency. What it means is to just improve the way you multiply, the skill of multiplication just by watching. So I'll start with a problem here. It's 36 times 9/10. My conceptual understanding of multiplication in decimals tells me that because this 9/10 is less than 1, when I multiply it with a whole number, the product that I get is going to be less than the whole number itself here. So when I take 36 and I multiply it by a value that's less than 1, 9/10, I'm going to get a product that's below 36. That's what I know. That's what my conceptual understanding of decimals and multiplication tells me. So what I do instead is I rewrite this problem knowing that my product is going to be less than the whole number, because when my conceptual understanding tells me multiply a whole number by a decimal that's less than 1, my product will be less than the original whole number. So I take 36, I rewrite the problem like this, and I multiply it by 9 without any decimals. And 6 times 9 is 54. I'm going to carry the 5 here. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 5 is 32. You'll notice I'm placing things in the correct place value, ones, tens, hundreds in this case. I'm going to put 0 as a placeholder here since I'm not multiplying anything in the ones column. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. We should add these. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. Now the decision is, where do I put the decimal? Well, here's what I know. Here's my conceptual understanding about decimals. I know that if I multiply 36 by half, I know that if I'm multiplying 36 by half, I'm going to get 18. I just know that when you multiply a whole number by the decimal of half, it's like splitting it in two. So I know that 36 times half would get 18 because multiplying a whole number by half is like dividing it by 2. So 36 times half is 18. 9/10 is larger than half, so my product's going to be larger than 18. I also know that this value, my conceptual understanding tells me that this value, 9/10, it's close to 1. 36 times 1 is 36. So my answer has to be greater than 18 and it has to be closer to 36. Conceptually, I know then where to place the decimal, and 36 times 9/10 is not going to have a value in the ones place. It's not going to be 3, nor is it going to be 324. It's going to be 32 and 4/10. So I guess I tricked you a little bit. There was some conceptual understanding in this type of problem. Let's move to the next problem. This one is 25 hundredths times 33 hundredths. Conceptually, here's one thing that I know. I know that when I multiply, well, take a look at the problem first and just ask yourself, before I speak anymore, ask yourself the place value of these numbers. Okay, this value is 25 hundredths, and this is 33 hundredths. Here's what I know. I know that when I multiply values like 100 times 100, or things in the hundreds times another thing in the hundreds, I get a product in the 10,000s. That's what I know. So 100 times 100 is 10,000, maybe 800 times 800 is 64,000, but this is what I know conceptually. Now, how will that help me solve this problem? Well, I'll tell you. These are values in the hundredths. If I'm multiplying hundreds with one another and I'm getting an answer in the 10,000s, I can then infer that if I multiply values in the hundredths with one another, I may get a product in the 10,000ths. I don't need to use a decimal trick that tells me where to put the decimal. I'm just understanding that 100 times 100 is 10,000. So hundredth times hundredth might be 10,000th. Let's try it out. 5 times 3, 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 0 placeholder. Let me extend the page. 0 placeholder. 3 times 5, 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Add these values up. 5 plus 0, 5. 7 plus 2, 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7, 8. Now, I have two numbers that are less than 1 multiplying one another. I can't get 825 or even 82.5 or 8 and 2500ths. If I count back and I say, okay, my answer should be in the 10,000s, if this is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, I would probably put a 0 here then to say that this is now the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. And my decimal would go there. And my answer would be 825 10,000ths. Okay, so that's just how I multiplied these values together. Consider it. We always have to have conceptual understanding of what we're doing before we can really say that we're as fluent as we can be. I think having conceptual understanding helps with fluency, and all throughout this unit we're going to build our conceptual understanding of fractions, multiplication, division, and decimals, and we'll practice our fluency with that as well. Okay, have a great day. Thanks. Bye. See you tomorrow.